Well, again, I don't think, Danny, that we were unsound in our analysis. I mean, Israel was humiliated by Hamas on October 7th. Israel was lured into Gaza to fight a conflict that they weren't able to prevail in the intervening time, and B, succeeded in exposing Israel for the reality of Israel. What happened in Syria doesn't change the fact that Israel is a genocidal state. It's an apartheid state. It doesn't change that. Israel has been exposed for what it is. And Israel then got, Hezbollah did a masterful job of escalation management, of maintaining just enough friction on the northern Israeli front to support the Hamas operation. But the goal and objective was never to create a second front. Because again, if you believe in a Palestinian state, you have to understand that the world's focus has to be on Palestine, on Gaza, on solving that issue, not on solving other issues, on solving that issue. Because that issue is important to the Palestinians. It's not important to the world. I just want to reiterate this one more time so people understand. The world isn't bending over to help the Palestinians, never have. It's just when Sinwar created a geopolitical problem that the world had to focus on, and then Israel gets exposed for what Israel is, a genocidal apartheid state, and now questions of morality come in. What do we do? And the solution is to create a Palestinian state. And we had widespread agreement that that was the solution. The world started talking about this, moving in that direction. And as long as Israel is strategically defeated, that's a sustainable solution. And Israel was losing against Hezbollah through this war of escalation. The Houthi, Ansarallah, came in and strangled Israel, economically. Iran was there managing the whole thing as the coordinator of the axis of resistance, and further humiliated Israel by penetrating their unbeatable Iron Dome. And so that you have this Iranian ability to attack Israel with 1,000 missiles looming over the head of Israel. Israel is the one who sought the ceasefire in Lebanon. Now, Hezbollah had been hurt. Let's not pretend that even though Israel is being strategically defeated, it's incapable of bringing pain. Hassan Nasrallah was killed. So was the senior Hezbollah leadership. And Hezbollah itself took hits, not fatal. Hezbollah recovered. Just ask the Golani Brigade and the 7th Armored Brigade about the hell that they were experiencing in southern Lebanon. But the Lebanese people were also being hit. It's one thing to blow up Gazans. Nobody cares about Gazans. They don't have a government infrastructure over them that can make appeals, etc. Lebanese are different. There's a Lebanese government. They have diplomatic relations around the world, and Israel's blowing them up and killing these Lebanese people. And basically, the Lebanese government turned to Hezbollah and said, "You can't. We can't continue to do this." And Hezbollah isn't just a resistance movement. Hezbollah is part of the Israeli or the Lebanese government. It's a political party, and they no longer have Hassan Nasrallah leading them. The man who was there since 1992, who played such a big role in creating Hezbollah and getting the Hezbollah not only to emerge as this viable resistance movement capable of standing toe-to-toe with Israel, but this political movement that has significant impact on Lebanon's policies. It's part of the Lebanese government. And as part of the Lebanese government, it is beholden to the needs of the Lebanese people. And so Hezbollah agreed that there had to be a ceasefire, that had to happen. Had Hezbollah not agreed to the ceasefire, then they would have broken faith and trust with the people of Lebanon, and the Lebanese government would have turned against them, and that would have put Hezbollah in a very difficult predicament. So they agreed to the ceasefire. But it wasn't until but that ceasefire was being pushed by the Israelis because they were getting their butts kicked by Hezbollah in the south. Their army was exhausted by failing to win in Gaza, failing to win here. They were exhausted, so they needed this ceasefire. And that's literally we got the ceasefire, and then almost the next day, HTS starts moving. I don't believe that there's a connectivity between the two things. I think HTS moved because they were prepared to take over the M4 highway. I think they saw an opportunity. Russia was distracted. Iran was worried about this ceasefire and retrograde, and they made a move, and as we've talked about, it went on. Israel is watching this, and here's the thing: Netanyahu is the ultimate political survivor. He ran 4 elections prior to this most recent one, where he got elected, then he got thrown out, then he got elected again. Each time, people, including myself, would write, "That's the end of Netanyahu, politically finished. He can't recover from this." Next thing you know, there's an election, and boom, there he is again. You're going, Netanyahu is the ultimate political survivor. And then he collapses. That's the end of Netanyahu. And on this last one, people like myself were saying he's collapsing. He's going into a situation where he's charged with corruption. The court's going to come and get him. It's all over. He can't possibly make it. Goodbye. There's an election. He forms a minority government. He's prime minister. He starts to change the laws to prevent the courts from coming after him. That creates chaos there. Had Sinwar not carried out October 7th, there's a good chance Netanyahu wouldn't be prime minister today, because there is that much opposition to what he was doing to reform the basic laws. But now October 7th comes along. Now, October 7th should have been enough to get rid of him. Any morally conscious leader would have resigned in disgrace, not Netanyahu. He has no moral conscience. Instead, he says, "I am the savior of Israel. I will save you from Hamas." And then when that failed, he said, "I'm going to create a problem with Hezbollah, and I'm going to save you from that problem." That failed. He creates a problem with Iran. "I'm going to save you." That failed. So by the time the ceasefire comes, I myself am saying that's it. Netanyahu isn't going to survive the year. Now we have a situation where Bashar al-Assad has collapsed. What is the Israeli Air Force doing? Destroying the infrastructure of Syria so that it is removed permanently. No matter who takes over, there will not be a Syrian threat to Israel. Israel has occupied all of the Golan Heights and extended into territory within 20 kilometers of Damascus. Hezbollah is isolated, cut off, can't be resupplied. So Hezbollah has been diminished and probably will have to go through a period of significant restructure that redefines it as a resistance movement and as a political movement. Suddenly, overnight, Netanyahu gets to say, "I've saved Israel." Well, he's taking credit for other people's work, but he's saying, "I saved Israel." He gets to create a narrative, because to the victor gives the right to create a narrative. He says, because of the damage I did to Hezbollah, because of the damage I did to Iran, this opportunity was created. I saved Israel. And politically, he has saved Israel. He gets to take that credit. He's taking down, Syria. The government takes it. I know there's a couple of videos that show people, we're going to march on to Damascus. They're not going to get anywhere close to Jerusalem or anything else. And Jolani and company aren't going to do that anyways. Their focus is Baghdad. I'm telling you right now, Jolani ain't going to Jerusalem. Jolani's going to Baghdad. That's what I think. So Israel won. And now here's the thing. An Israeli victory with a Biden presidency or a Kamala Harris presidency still would have been a problem, because Israel still is a genocidal, maniacal state that has committed horrific war crimes. There's a ICC warrant out for him, an ICJ warrant, condemnation. But Donald Trump won. And Trump is creating, the Zionist 2.0 in Washington, D.C. Trump is a businessman. Trump likes strong people. Netanyahu is weak. That's why Trump has treated him like crap, excuse my language, earlier. But now, Bibi's strong. He's going to be Trump's best friend. The United States is going to come in, full support for Israel. I thought that Trump would be overseeing Israel on hospice care, that Israel was strategically defeated. I said nobody will invest in this. Trump's going to come in, and again, let's go back to what we talked about. Who betrayed Assad? The Arabs did. The Arabs betrayed Assad. And the people are going to sacrifice. I love somebody behind me with a sword. No, I'm an analyst, guys. This is what analysts do. No one's threatening me. You come up with, but don't talk about your fantasies. Don't talk about your fictional fantasies. Tell me that I'm wrong. You can't. You can't tell me that Israel's stronger today. You may not want Israel to be stronger today, but you can't deny the fact that Israel has flipped the script. Who's going to stand up for Palestine right now? Tell me one nation is going to stand up for Palestine. We know it's not going to be Turkey. So who else is out there? It's not going to be the United States. So the Palestinian cause has suffered a grievous injury, perhaps fatal. Israel, in order for Palestine to exist, Israel has to be strategically defeated. Israel's not strategically defeated. So watch what happens next under Trump. Cleansing of the West Bank. Gaza will be depopulated. This is what's going to happen because nobody's going to stand up against it. So it's the end of Palestine, the end of Palestinian aspirations. The United States is going to prop up Israel, and watch what the Arabs do. They do it every single time. They betray themselves. Saudi Arabia will normalize relations with Israel, even after saying they will never do it until there's a free Palestinian state with its capital in Jerusalem. Saudi Arabia will flip like this. Normalize. That India, Middle East, European economic corridor that I said was dead, it ain't dead. It's back. It's back because all the parties necessary to make it happen are aligned. This is changed everything, and there will be now a greater Israel. It won't be it's not going to go to the Euphrates River, but it's expanded out of Golan towards Damascus. They're going to take Gaza. They're going to take the West Bank. They may end up taking parts of southern Lebanon to secure. So how am I wrong? Do I want this to happen? No, not at all. I was sort of pleasantly pleased with the idea of Israel on life support and getting the extra morphine shot and dying and a Palestinian state emerging in its place. That's what I thought would have been a fair and just outcome. But an analyst isn't here to tell you what he wants to happen. It's here to tell you what is happening. And what is happening is everything I just said. Whether you like it or not, that's it. And now the question is, I see people, Iran's not defeated. Well, they're not strategically defeated. They exist. But their position certainly isn't very strong right now. And now we have to ask the question inside Iran, what is going on inside Iran? You have a president who was elected on a platform that included reaching out to the West. Now, there's a whole bunch of people out there who are anti this. They supported Raisi and all this. I don't care what you believe, guys. Tell me I'm wrong. Is there an Iranian president today who wants to improve relations with the West? Is there an Iranian president today who is reaching out to the United States to talk about Iran's nuclear program? That means he wants to revive the JCPOA, which means Iran will reverse many of the things they've been doing on their nuclear program. Tell me I'm wrong. You can't. You can tell me you're against it. You can tell me you oppose it. You can tell me whatever you believe about it. That's what's happening. And now we have a president, Trump, who comes in on January 20th, who ran for election saying he's not seeking the demise of the Islamic Republic. What he is seeking to do is lift sanctions if Iran is willing to work with him on the nuclear program. Suddenly we have a confluence going on there. Changes everything. We are talking about a shifting thing. And the only constant here is that Arabs will continue to betray Arabs. Arabs betrayed Bashar al-Assad. They're going to betray the Palestinian cause. And then they're going to betray themselves by supporting Israel. And who knows? This is a very complex situation. We haven't even talked about BRICS, and we don't have time to talk about BRICS, but what does it mean for BRICS when Iran suddenly starts reaching out to the West at a time it's supposed to be joining an economic forum dealing with the global South? But again, if there's anybody out there who says, no, I predicted the fall of Bashar al-Assad and everything that's happening today, I'll ask for your proof, and otherwise I'll just call you a liar.
The Palestinian cause, yes, it is certainly looking bleak at the moment. I think one thing to note, though, is that there's a lot of uncertainty even just over the situation. What is certain now is that the Syrian government has fell and that Israel is making these huge, just absolutely, internationally condemned expansionist moves. And of course, this has been a big win for Israel, Turkey, and it is still up for debate whether it will be a big win for the United States now that the U.S. kind of has to fight Turkey for control in Syria. but there's obviously some U.S. strategic.
But again, Donnie baby wants out of Syria. There will be no Turkish-American clash over. America will dump the Kurds as we've always dumped the Kurds. There will be no clash between Turkey. Trump likes strong leaders. Erdogan has just emerged as a strong leader. So Trump isn't going to, this isn't Biden-Harris. This is Trump. So it's a whole new different dynamic. Turkey, Israel there will be no international condemnation for anything Israel's doing today in Syria. None whatsoever. So they're not internationally condemned anymore. Watch how quick. And again, with the Palestinians, the only thing that gave the Palestinians hope was retained presence in West Bank and Gaza. But if Israel now doubles down and forcefully, because with Trump there will be zero pushback. There, and Europe is collapsing. They desperately need American assistance to survive. So that's the end. Watch how quick Spain. Let's put a bet on this. I bet you by the end of the year, Spain's reversed its recognition of a Palestinian state, because Europe is going to be in free fall. Trump's going to say any country that supports the Palestinian state will get 120% tariffs. And Spain will go, what Palestinian state? Don't understand what you're talking about. Watch how quickly the ICC folds or disappears. This is a whole new world with Trump coming in. And the only chance Palestine had is the death of Israel. And Israel, I believe, was on life support. Not anymore. This is a horrible situation. It's not good, but it's real. And you have to recognize the reality. You can't solve a problem unless you properly define the problem. So it's imperative that before we jump to solutions, that we talk about the reality of what has happened here.
Yeah, indeed. The reality is certainly a major setback. I didn't even get to ask you about how you mentioned a little bit about how Iran might respond to this. But indeed, there are huge warning signs for Iran. And I think you're 100% right that these groups, HTS in particular, will be moving to Iraq. And I think that is, of course, a huge problem for Iran, because in my estimation, the whole plan, the whole agenda here is a march toward Iran to destabilize Iran. That was the plan from the beginning.
Yep. The only chance Iran has right now to prevent that, because again, Russia will not go to war for Iran. It isn't going to happen. Russia will help Iran, but Russia's not going to go to war for Iran. Iran's best friend right now, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate on this, is the United States. The only chance Iran has to exist is to bend the knee to America on its nuclear program and sort of become a well-behaved player in the American playground. America just became, this is blowing my mind. We were watching the strategic withdrawal of America from the Middle East. America's back. America's going to be calling the shots because the things that were supposed to replace America are collapsing. Russia was never intended to project power into this region through its Syria presence. The Syria presence was always only about stabilizing Assad. Don't try and make it anything other than that. The axis of resistance was supposed to be Iran's, entree into geopolitical relevance. It's collapsing right now. It hasn't collapsed, but it's collapsing. So Iran is on its back foot. And you have this president coming in who everybody's going to be looking at him for solutions. And I'm telling you right now, there's a good chance by summer of 2025, Donald Trump will have two historic foreign policy victories. The first one will be that he will solve the problem in Ukraine with Russia, that the Ukrainian conflict will end. And the second one is he will have, do you remember when he withdrew from the JCPOA? He said, I just want a better deal. He'll get the better deal.
Welcome back to my channel. Today I am back with another brand new video. In this video, Ritter has revealed how IDF destroys Syria's defense threatening to strike Iran nuclear facilities. So guys, if you like to watch video like this,
Help!
then you can subscribe my channel and you can watch each and every of my videos.
Watch out!
So guys, keep watching my channel for future videos. In this match, I have finished by someone. Let's see what's happening in the match. Let's see what's happening. It's for people and I'm another of US military.
Help! I got supplies!
If you like to watch this type of video, then you can subscribe my channel. I have already too much war related content in my channel. So I hope this video will be enjoyable for you and you will like this type of videos. Guys, if you really like this type of video, then you can subscribe my channel for future videos and press the notification icon for future any updates. Guys, please support my YouTube channel and watch my YouTube videos daily, regularly. There is a Karen. Now I had played a game which is the BGMI game, and I started this match with random teammates, but unfortunately in this match I have finished by someone. But my number one teammate is still alive. Let's see what he can do. Can he win this match or not? Let's watch until the end. I think he can't win this match because he is not a pro or expert player. He is average player. So let's see what's happened. There is fight is going on. Thank you for watching until then. Now I am going to end this video from here because this is enough long. Bye bye. I'll be back with another video next time. Bye for now. Love you guys.